So car.forward. There we go. This is, Thanks. So this is like, our mission for this company is to make programming fun and exciting for young kids. We found that the way that programming is often taught to kids, it's just not very engaging. So 2 lines of code, the car can move. That gets kids really excited. Like we see kids literally jumping up and down, giving each other high fives because they wrote a program in Python, which is exactly what we're trying to accomplish. So anyway, but I won't show you the simple stuff for this. We can look at sort of more of the under the hood API. You know, we found that this product is also fun for just actual like adult programmers. Yeah.
Can you encourage the kids to take the car apart? Learn about it that way too.
Yeah, well, when we have a rental system for schools, so we can like rent the cars out to schools so that they can teach this product. So in that setting, that we wouldn't encourage them to take the car apart. For your own car, like if you were a kid and you had your own car, like I would love you to take it apart. In fact, we have videos on here called How the Car Works, where I take the car apart in the video. So a kid at home could certainly follow along.
Could you sell assembly kits?
We'd love to. We don't right now, but we will at some point in the future.
Some kids just like to be a lot more hands-on, especially with electronics.
Yeah, exactly. Save us some burden of assembling it ourselves too.
Charge more.
Yeah.
In order to do this, you have to be connected to the internet?
Yes, so the car connects to Wi-Fi, your computer connects to Wi-Fi. If you really didn't have internet access, but you had like a local Wi-Fi network, you can SSH into the car. It just runs Linux. You can also run the car also runs a Jupyter server, so you can always just connect to the Jupyter server. Yeah.
You want to show where that is?
So actually, yeah, here I'll show you. Don't copy my password, but you can click this link, and it'll open up Jupyter. It's not actually going to work on this computer because the cars are on different Wi-Fi networks right now, so this link won't work. But normally, if you're like at a home network, click this link, you get Jupyter. You can put the password in there. Every car has a different Jupyter password.
There are data science lessons there too, that Jupyter notebooks with data science lessons.
That's right. Yeah. So some of the advanced lessons we actually just put in Jupyter notebooks, so you can go through them. Yeah.
So the self-driving AI with just the image recognition and processing, is that happening then on your computer or on a remote server?
Everything's done on the Raspberry Pi on the car. So we even have
image parsing, like analyzing the images and pulling.
Yeah. So here, let's do a demo of that real quick.
How do you charge it? There's a charger in the box.
Yeah,
it's
it
a
comes with
LiPo charger balanced.
There's a little charging lead. So this little charging lead, you plug it in, we'll send you a charger. This is just a LiPo, standard LiPo battery, so if you have like an RC car or a drone or something, you might even already have a charger for it. So, what was I doing? AutoAuto AI, LibAuto. So also the library that runs on the car is open source, so it's here, it's this library. So I can kind of scroll down if you want to show you maybe a slightly more interesting example. So of course, you know, when we're teaching the students, we would do stuff like this. We'd say frame equals car.capture, and then we just say like car.plot frame. You could do this in Jupyter as well, and it would print out the frame. So instantiating a camera object, captured one frame, plotting one frame.
Can you make that?
Yeah. And there, right there. It's kind of dark in this room from down there, but so like, you know, if you're a student just learning this, you know, 3 lines of code, cool. We just use the camera. Of course, Peter showed some of the helper functions we have, like detect faces. But if you wanted, of course, like OpenCV is like installed in the car. You can just use OpenCV directly. So here's an example of OpenCV. We're still using car.capture to get a frame. Frame is just a NumPy array, you know. So we can pass that to like CV2, so the OpenCV or Python OpenCV module. Step 1 is just to convert it from an RGB image to a gray image, because right after that we want to run the canny filter on it, which is an edge detecting filter. And it expects to receive a grayscale image, so that's why we're doing that. And then we can do car.stream the frame, and you'll kind of see what that looks like. So run that. running on the car. Hold on 1 second.
What is the AutoAuto board? Is it just a trinket?
1 second, I'll answer that.
AutoAuto what?
So say 2 labs equals true. That way it'll actually stream the frame up.
Oh, yeah.
Play around.
If you want to see what you guys look like as edges.
Oh.
Come on. That's awesome.
So the point being really is like, you know, this isn't just a beginner toy. Like you can kind of peel the onion, as we call it. You can peel off that very easy API and get down to the more complicated stuff. And you can peel off, you know, I don't know how many layers of the onion there are, but there's a lot of layers, right? So, I mean, if you want to get down to like hacking the Linux kernel, you could do that. So, yeah.
If you wanted to do higher level planning of, you know, I want it to go down there to a certain kind of make-believe miniature street and so forth, is anything software-wise about higher up, like, you know,
right.
ROS or stuff that telling it, I don't know.
Yeah, we rely a lot on the camera. And so some of the more advanced topics, you would actually even get into like neural networks for doing image processing. For example, one of the lessons we have, more advanced lesson, is to train a neural network just to use the front-facing RGB camera to see the lanes, you know, to see lines on the road and actually like steer the car around the track, right? So you're just using a camera for that. Same thing with like the pedestrian detector, which is built in. So we rely a lot on the camera for like navigation, for things like that. Some of the other stuff you can do is it has a gyroscope and accelerometer on there. So you can do stuff like you can tell your car to turn at exactly 90-degree angle, right? And it can use the gyroscope to do that. So I wanted to teach the car to do a J-turn, which is like, you know, you like police in the military do this, right? You want to get out of a situation real fast, so you like slam in reverse real quick, cut the wheels one way, you get like 90 degrees around, then you cut the wheels the other way and go forward, right? So you kind of you back up and you end up like spinning 180 degrees and going forward. I use the gyroscope so I know exactly like when to cut the wheels. So to make it look good, I think I went like 75 degrees, and then I cut the wheels the other way and like put the throttle in forward. And then it kind of like spins out and goes the other way.
Do you want to post that code as a gist, and then I can get online? Like, we can get this. We have technology.
That sounds awesome. Of course, you need the Tokyo Drift library.
And especially we can put it over there because it'll like drift better on.
It'll drift better on the
concrete, right?
That's awesome.
Okay.
All right, so hang tight. We'll get the code there.